Welcome to Papyrus Plans. I'm Tasha. Ready to create something beautiful? Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on my creative journal for the month of September. I've been absolutely loving my cafe in Paris theme. I think this might be one of my favorite spreads that I've done so far this year. But this month I thought I would do a girl boss, a work at home theme. And I was kind of inspired by, I've been going through some of my digitals that I've purchased over the years. And that's been kind of one of my goals, is to try to use up some of those items that I've purchased and kind of put them to some good use. And I bought this ages ago. This is a bullet journal kit that I got from mashaplans.com. And you just purchase the one you want, print it, cut it, download it, and print it and cut it, etc. And so these are the pages that we're going to be using from that. Now, I did modify some things here. I added some color, and I took some washi tape. And let me see if I can get the one that I used so I can show you. So I used this washi tape. So I used this washi tape here with this beautiful floral pattern with gold foil. And I used bits of that along with some of my other washi. This is like a pastel washi with polka dots and stripes. So I used a combination of those two. And I just basically cut it into the shape where she had drawn doodles of washi and added that there. And for this wall hanging, for example, I basically, again, did the same thing. I put the washi on top and then used the lines to kind of cut around it. And same thing with this banner, did that with the floral washi. Now, I will say, I originally was going to use, and I actually started to do it, to use this, which is metallic. It's a metallic watercolor set, which I love. I love this set. And I kept the cover just so I could show you guys which one it was. So this is the metallic version. And I used different colors of these metallic watercolors. And I was initially going to do this with just watercolor. But I forgot that I printed this on inkjet with inkjet ink, and inkjet is water-based. So water-based ink with watercolors. Yeah, I didn't kind of think that one through. So just be kind of mindful when you're doing things like that. And watercolor paper was going to be too thick. I think if I used my laser printer, that probably would have worked a little bit better. But again, then I wouldn't have been able to add, because my laser printer is monochromatic, I wouldn't have been able to add the color. So again, I kind of started doing that. And then when it was bleeding, I was like, oh no. And then I was like, why is this bleeding? Then I was like, oh yeah, inkjet. So I kind of, it went all over, like the leaves I used for some of that. And the flowers, I started doing that, and basically I didn't get past this one page because once it started bleeding, I was like, yikes. And then I tried to fix it. So then I took some of my, trying to find it, but I tried to use a white gel pen, and it just wasn't enough to go over the watercolor. And then I used, and I can't find it right now, but I used my my liquid correction tape by Bic. You've seen me use that before. I think I might have left it in, wait, no, here it is. So I used my Bic whiteout. This is the correction pen by Bic. I used that to kind of go over the areas that bled through. And obviously you can see it, but this is my journal. And I was like, do I want to print this over again? And I decided not to, because I had already, this was my second time printing it, because the first time I printed this, I forgot when I want to do full page spreads, I can't use it in Adobe because Adobe shrinks all the pages. Even when you tell it not to, it still shrinks them. So I noticed when you say fit the page, it's going to shrink it, and it shrunk it like a good inch on both sides. And so it was quite noticeable. And I was like, okay, this is really, really short. What should I do? I mean, if it was only one side, I probably would have tried to, maybe put some washi tape down or work around it. But since it was both sides, vertically and horizontally, it just looked very odd to me. But thankfully, my sister, she came into my art studio and saw these pages and was like, hey, feel free to make me some. And I said, you know what? You can have those because I'm going to have to reprint them. And they didn't print properly. And so she was like, what? And she's a professional product photographer. So she was using it to create her mood boards for her photography session. So just keep in mind, just because something is intended to be, used in a certain way doesn't mean you can't repurpose it and use it in a different way. So I like to share some of the things that when they don't go perfectly right, because, even for someone, with a professional design background like me, things don't always go perfect, right? That's just part of life. So I tried it, and now I know not to do that because, again, I wasn't really thinking about it. It's like I know I shouldn't have did that, but I wasn't thinking when I did it. You know what I mean? I just was like, oh, add color. So I did digitally add some pastel colors here to kind of resemble my pastel sticky notes that I have. I thought that would be kind of cute. Again, all of this was in black and white. So when you download it, it's black and white. And this was from her May... I can't remember now, like May 2022 or 2023, something like that. And so I just put a box over the Mays, and so I could add the month that I wanted it to be for. So I added September here, and then I added just some kind of encouraging quotes. So I am the CEO of my own life. And on this page, again, all of these are blank. So you can write in them or add your own text however you see fit. So I put goal digger mode on, new month, new goals, same unstoppable energy. She's like September, cool, collected, and full of purpose. I love that. And then I just added some, again, some encouraging little words in the banners at the top. Set intentions, focus, hustle, lead boldly. And then I think these are the only ones that have banners. And then the rest are just kind of like weekly spreads. But I'm going to use all of these as weeklies. So again, I just added some of the pastel colors. I basically looked at my Post-it notes and I just chose some of the colors that were from my Post-it notes. That way kind of looks like I have my Post-it notes stuck in my journal. I thought that would be kind of cool to do that. So again, this right here is from the washi that I showed you earlier. And then this is outliners. I went back on the areas that I was going to use the metallic watercolors in, and instead of doing that, I used my outliners, which I probably should have did from the beginning, but hey, you live and you learn. So those are those, and I think I've kind of got them out of order. Let's see if I can put them back. I did have these in order, so hopefully that's the correct order. We'll find out later when we start putting the pages down. But I also created some stickers as well. And these are some stickers I actually originally created for like a Girl Boss spread I did, I think earlier in the year, I think in like February or maybe March, something like that. So this was what was left over from that. And then I created some additional stickers to kind of go with it. And then basically I did mirrored images of them. And some I didn't do mirrored images of just because I just wanted to use some for decoration. But we're probably not going to have a lot of decoration because, again, these are going to take up most of the page, but I thought I might be able to have some pages where I could layer, and then these I'll use for the Dutch doors. Now, same thing here. I started out using the watercolor, and as you can see, it started to kind of bleed through, and it was going pretty well, as long as I was using it lightly. But again, I realized, okay, I probably shouldn't do that. So then what I ended up doing is, now I will say the watercolors worked probably best on the stickers, but not necessarily on this, which is basically a large sticker. But I think because I realized I needed to use less of it. So, I mean, I barely applied any to it just to give it that shimmer effect. And even the ones that bled, I didn't necessarily mind because it kind of gave it kind of a cool effect. So that's kind of what those look like. And then what I did, when I realized it was starting to bleed through and I needed to use less, I went in with some of my pops of color that you guys know I love these. And I use clear, and I use, let's see, this pearl color and this gold color. So I think these are the main three ones I used. I think those are the only three ones I used. So I use the clear, for example, on the laptop screen, just to give it that shimmer, that shine, you know, how a laptop screen has that gloss to it. So I use that. I used the gold here on the gold. And again, I use some of the metallic watercolors on some of the other stickers. Again, here I use the clear on this one, clear on the candle, again, to kind of give it that gloss. And then I also combined it with some of the metallic watercolor and the pearlized white. Watch used the clear, and then added a little bit of the metallic. I think I used the metallic yellow one for part of the watch. Again, just to kind of give it some of that shimmer. And for the coffee, I used the pearlized one to create the latte art on top. I just very carefully used small little drips and then kind of connected them together to make the latte art. And on the scissors, I use the metallic watercolors, and that came out pretty well. Again, if you use a very light touch and don't use too much, then it's okay. But I did have some bleed through, again, because it's water. So same thing here. I just took my Bic correction tape and just bled the inside of this to make it white again. So those are kind of some tips and tricks that I used when I was creating these, just to kind of get the effect that I wanted. So if you want to create something similar in your creative journal, you'll be able to do so. Now, I would say everything for the most part went pretty well, with the exception of the watercolors bleeding on the cover page. And with the sticker strips that I created sticker strips in different designs to kind of go with the theme. And this one went pretty well when I was weeding it. This one, when I was weeding it, I think my tool got underneath it and it got stuck to it. And then when I was lifting up, it got stuck to my finger and the tool, and it shredded this one. I think all the other ones are okay, but this one completely ripped. But again, since there's only one, I decided to try to just work with it and see if I can use it. And I'll probably obviously use this on the backside. So that's kind of where we are and what I've created. So I think what I want to do is put all the pages that I got from Masha plans down first, and then go back in and maybe trim for the Dutch doors. So I'm not going to do as many Dutch doors this time around because, again, I have the cover page, and because this is part of the cover page, I'm doing a 2-page cover page this time, and this is going to be the back of it. So I can't cut this without ruining the front. So this has to be left alone, and last page has to be left alone. So I think we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 Dutch doors this time around, and take it from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. Again, these ones aren't going to be cut because they're the cover page. So let's go ahead and put these down. And do my best to get, actually I'm gonna turn this sideways so I can kind of get this centered. And let me get my book clip. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Just so I can hold this side down. And I'm gonna clip it underneath the cover page because I need to be able to lift this up. So maybe I'll do this one like that. Or actually on the side here, like that. Yeah, that way it lays I just wanted to lay it a little bit flatter. There we go. Okay, now I've got to make sure I orient this the right way. This is the top. Always double check. Ask me how I know. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have that down. So let me take this off now. We're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm trying to line it up with that page. And that's a little bit crooked, but I don't know if it's going to let me lift it. Let's see if it will. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. The sticker paper is very strong. Oh, so far it's letting me. Okay. I need to... pushing it up to the bottom before I pull the rest of the page. And that way I can get the bubbles out of it once I have at least one side aligned, essentially. Let's see. Actually, this needs to come over. This is touching the binding, and I don't want it to do that because that can prevent it from turning properly. So I'm going to slide this over ever so slightly. Then line it up with the bottom page. There we go. And now try to push it down. There we go. That way it misses the binding in the middle. And let me try to smooth this down. Get the wrinkles out. Okay, that's pretty good. Not too shabby. Okay. I had to lift that one up, but it works. Now, let's see. Now this would have been, if I left the offset, it would have covered this. Now I have about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm trying to decide if I want to add washi to that. I don't know if I do. I don't think I have any skinny. Well, let me check and see. I might have some skinny black washi. I don't know. Let's look. Oh, actually, it looks like I do. Let's see. Actually, guys, oh, I forgot about this set. I got this set from, I think this is a set I bought from Happy Planner. This is part of, there was a Wrong collection and then another one. So I got these from Happy Planner, all of these ones right here. So let's see. We got Fierce and Fabulous, Heart, Brave, Beautiful. That kind of goes. It's like a sentiment. That kind of goes with it. Or do I want to do something more decorative? Like these stripes would be cute. Actually, most of these would look really good with it. Especially these little skinny ones. But I think, you know what? I think I'm going to do this one. It just has a nice positive sentiment. And I'm going to leave these out just in case I want to use them for something else. So let's go ahead and use this one. Because it kind of goes with the theme. And I didn't initially intend to put washi down on the cover page, but I just realized because I removed the offset, if it was white, I could just cut the overage that went over. But I think I decided to just cut that off in advance first so it could go around it. But because I did that again, now you have this edge exposed. I mean, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, again, if this doesn't bother you, you can just leave it. But we're going to go ahead and cover it. And it looks like it's just going to fit on this edge. I might have to trim just a little bit because I don't want to come past this black line. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I like that. That's really cute. It's almost like I did it on purpose. You know, it's good to plan, but sometimes it's good to also see how things develop. Okay, so let's trim this off, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just doing a rough trim because I'm going to come back and round the corners to get a more perfect trim. Okay, and I'm trying to start it where I can see a full word. So I started that one with the plus sign and the heart. This one I'm going to start with the heart. Again, just so I can get a full word. And it can almost fit Fabulous. So let me see if I can slide this down slightly so I can fit it. See, right there maybe. Yeah, that works. Again, just doing a rough trim. And I'll come back and round the corners. All right, so that's what it's looking like. So let's see. Maybe I should go ahead and get my corner rounder now. So let me get that. And I think this is the 1/4 inch corner rounder. I can never remember. Let's see. Yeah, I use the 1/4 inch corner rounder. Okay, I made a little note to myself in case I forget. So I always like to look just to double check. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait because I have to do this side. And I'll have to round them for this one too. Okay, so we have this, and let me get I have a guide of the pages in the correct order so I can make sure I put these in the right order. Let me get that just so I won't accidentally put them in the wrong order. So I'm going to just, since I kind of messed these up, the order of them up earlier, let me just double check and make sure they're in the right order. Okay, so I did accidentally get some of the pages out of order, so I just put them back in the correct order. So I'm glad I took a picture of the proper order. Now this one, I think my brother scan and cut wrong, and so I added. Originally, I told it not to have an offset, but it was cutting on the line. So this one I'm gonna have to kind of piece back together. So that'll leave a little bit of space at the top. Try to put that back. Okay, and I'll see if we can put this back. And I'm gonna have to trim it just so I can get this border the way it was supposed to be. Like that. Okay, so piece that back, and now let's cut this. It's kind of hard to see because both sides are white, but I'm trying to follow the line along here. And then I'll go back and clean it up. Okay, it's not too bad. All right, just cleaned up that edge a little bit. And let's add the washi over here as well. Okay. And now let's go ahead and round these corners now that they're done. Again, using the 1/4 inch side. I have a 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch side, and this is the We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile Corner Chomper is what it's called. Sometimes with washi, I feel like I have to do it twice, so because of the sticky edge and because it's so thin. There we go. Okay, now let's get this one. Ooh, I love that. That looks so cool. And I love that it's a 2-page spread. That way it looks like I'm looking at my memo board on my desk. I just think that's adorable. Now, some of this washi is trying to come up, so I might have to glue some of these edges down. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue because it's such a small strip. I think it wants to kind of pull up. And get my rubberized adhesive remover and just kind of take away any excess tackiness. All right, that feels a little bit more secure. All right, so I'm really loving the way that that came out. And that side looks great too. All right, so now we're gonna start getting into a little bit more complicated. So we're gonna start making the Dutch doors. Okay, so we're gonna go, find the last page. 3 spaces in, 6 in, 9 in, and then 12 in. Okay. So trying to think if I want to put the pages down and then cut it, or cut it and then put the pages down. I think it might be easier if I put the pages down first. So I might try to do that. So I'm going to keep these little notes to myself so I know how far to cut in. Again, I want to stay as close to the spine as I can without coming too close to it. And I'm going to trim this little bit of the offset that keeps trying to come up. Just kind of remove it so it's not getting in the way of the spine. That part went over a little bit. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I think I might do that. Again, because I think it might be easier. I think. Anyway. And that way I can line this up with this side. as best I can. We're not going for perfection here. We're just trying to do our best. That's all we can ask of ourselves. Okay, not too bad considering it stuck to itself. And let me put... see. Ooh, I think... ooh, did I put this on the wrong side? Oh, shoot. I might end up having to cut some of this off. We'll see. I think I might have put that on the wrong side. It's the only thing with full page designs and also trying to do Dutch doors. It's kind of hard to get the sizing right, which is why I usually just do either full pages or Dutch doors. But again, we'll play it by ear and see what happens. I might not be able to do Dutch doors. Or I might have to cut into some of my memo to do it. Like my faux memo board that I downloaded from Masha Plans. I might have to do that. We've got 2 pages left. Yeah, I think I might have printed this one on the wrong... I think this one is supposed to go there, or this one's supposed to go there. I don't know. I think somehow I still end up getting the pages mixed up. But we'll see. We will see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was this one. I think I got the pink one confused. Yeah, this is bigger. See, this one was supposed to go in the back. Yikes. Okay. So I'm either gonna have to like cut this in half. Or yeah, this one was supposed to go here. And I put it, this was the back one. I got these two confused. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, I'm looking at the sizing and I'm like, yeah, this one shouldn't be this small. So I kind of messed this up. I think I put these two were the back ones because these are the same design, but I made obviously the ones in the back larger and the ones up front smaller. So I accidentally put the back ones in the front and these front ones are going to go in the back. But like I said, I don't know if I'll still be able to do Dutch doors because of that. That's going to throw the sizing off. Trying to get it straight. Especially because it wants to curl up on me. It's a challenge. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, so this is what it's looking like. And again, these should have been in the front, and these ones should have been in the back. These are the larger ones. I forgot that I made 2 pages that were identical because you only get a certain number of these designs from her. So I made, I printed out 2 versions of these and just changed the size so it would fit. But I accidentally put the ones that were supposed to go in the back, because these are larger, up front. And then these are the smaller ones, which should have been up front. And I had to put these in the back because I put these ones here. So yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. How am I going to rectify that? Because, let's see, this is the last page. So this one doesn't necessarily matter because the last page I don't usually do anything. So I could always add, maybe even draw in a couple extra boxes here. But again, I don't need to because it's the last page. See, this is 3 spaces. So obviously I have enough room for that. See, this one would be cutting through part of this. And that would be, so basically I'd have to get only 2 days here. I think is what's going to end up happening. I have to get 2 days here and more days back here. Which I think I could, because again, this is quite a bit of space to write in. Usually I get 3 days per page. So would have to get in a 4th day here and a 4th day here. If I did that, I think it might still work if I still cut everything. Trying to see if I can. So this one I can cut. This one, when I cut, it's going to be through here. And so if I add washi, it's going to have to be on top of this. So basically, I'd only have these 2 boxes. All right, so let me do some math and see if I can make this still work. If I add on another box here and here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so if I get 4 days here. All right, so I just finished counting through everything. Originally, I was going to use 2 of these for a day, but I'm going to get 1 day for each of them. And I'll just, thankfully, I write small, so I think I can make it work. And in order to still do the Dutch doors, these ones I'm going to have to cut through, which means I can't use these boxes. So I only get 2 days here. And then instead of 3 days in the back, I have to get 4 days. So I'll probably draw in another box somewhere here so that I can get a 4th day. So that's the way it's going to have to work. So we're going to go ahead and just go for it. And again, this is going to be a little bit different than I planned because I accidentally swapped the 2 pages when I was putting them in. But we're going to make it work. All right, let me get my ruler. This is the first Dutch door, and I always just double check that I only have 1 sheet here because I accidentally had 2 one time, and then I cut through it. So don't do that. All right, so 3 spaces is for the first one. And again, this one should be fine because this one has the right one on it. It's just the next page. That's going to be a little different than I anticipated. So this one is 6 spaces in, and I can't really see where the 6th space is. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to line it up here with the 6. Okay, this is number 6, this dot here. So it's here. And hold on, let me make a little, get one of my Pigma microns so I can see where it is. Dot there. And kind of using the page underneath to count it out. 3 right there. What? Oh no, it's kind of hard to see the dots without stickers here. No, I did 5. This should be here. Here. Okay. So it's going to go through, like I thought, these 2 boxes. And then when I put the washi down, it's going to go through it even more. So I almost cut through this second one. Thankfully, I caught it. Okay. So it's going to be here and here, thereabouts. It's about as trying to get as accurate as I can, but about right there. We're doing it. We are doing it. All right, 9. Okay, and this one should be 12. And my blade shifted slightly, so I'm just gonna take that small little sliver off of that. There we go. All right. So that's what it's looking like. So we're still going to do Dutch doors. I decided to go ahead and still do them. It's just going to look a little bit different than I originally planned because of this putting down the wrong page here. So yeah, we're going to make it work though. So I'm going to take these off since I don't need these anymore. That's just my reminder of how much to cut on each page. Okay. So I've got to add a box here. So let me write a little note to myself. I'm going to write a little note to myself. To add a box to this page. Okay. So that's what it's looking like. Okay. All right. Now let's get the sticker strips. And I think what I'm going to do first is kind of combine some of these so that they're not all on separate pages. So let me do that real quick, and then I'll come back with the sticker strips. All right, so I was able to combine all of the stickers onto just 2 sheets instead of like 6 of them. So that was nice. All right, so now let's go to the sticker strips. And let's put all of these together. Okay, so I actually have these in order. And again, we're going to do the first side first, and then we'll piece together that one that I tore on the other side or do something different if it doesn't work. So this one goes here with the paper clips and the wood desk background. I'm going to put my cutting mat underneath just so I can see the edge a little bit better. And I just tore that, but again, we're going to make it work. Oh boy, why is this tearing? Okay, there was a little air bubble here. I was trying to lift it up, but I'm going to do that instead. And see if we can piece this back on top. I think I was able to piece that back together. I'm just going to use my bone folder to kind of smush it down. And it goes over ever so slightly. So I'm going to trim this down to the size of the page. All right, so that's what the first page is looking like. Not too bad. All right. So up next is this one. I'm doing again, the outside edges first, and then I'll go back and put in the inside edges. And I think I'm gonna start from the bottom for this one. Okay. And up next are the binder clips. And again, this is going to go on top. And since this is white sticker paper, I should be able to just layer it on top. Again, just trying to smooth out some of the wrinkles from when I lifted this page up. Okay, that's not bad, considering. Okay. And trim this one that went over. Again, I'm gonna get my bone folder and just kind of smooth this down. And once I add all the sticker strips, I'll go through and round out all the corners. Okay, so far so good. All right, so now it's the blue one. And this one is trying to stick to this sheet. And again, these other ones are slightly larger, but again, I'm just going to put it directly on top and make it work. Okay. And this is the final one for the front ones. These are the push pins. All right, so this is what it's looking like with the Dutch doors. Okay, so that's the last page. So, I mean, considering I messed up 2 of the pages and ultimately 4 because I messed up 2, which means I swapped 2. So now 4 are affected. It doesn't really matter in the back because those are the pages that have the fewer spaces that I had to cut in. So it really, I guess it really only affected these 2. This page here in particular. And then part of that page. But again, I think we can make it work. Okay. So let's see. Let's do the opposite side. And then I'll come back and show you if I did anything different. So I'm going to go ahead and add the coordinating sticker strip that I created on this side. And then if I end up doing anything, like adding anything over here, I'll let you know. But some kind of way I've got to get another box or either split one of these boxes or something. So we'll figure that out and I'll show you what I did. All right, you guys, so let me show you everything that I did. So this is what it's looking like from the front. So these are the tabs I did with you. So now let's go from the back forward. So I had the space, so I just added the coordinating sticker strip here. Here, I didn't really have any space, and I was going to leave it blank, but I've decided that it looked a little odd not to have anything, so I just added this same strip that I used on the other ones, and since I like the text, I just added it there, and it fit perfectly. This one I use is the coordinating one on this one, and again, this one had 0 space, So I just used this super skinny black and white stripe washi, and that fit perfectly there. And so it has something there. It gives it some interest, just so that it has a little something on this edge, but it doesn't take up a lot of visual weight, which I like. Okay, for this one, there was the pink one. So for this one, I used this adorable Wrong Wrong washi tape with these ladies in these fashionable outfits. I thought that was really cute, and I added that on this side. And then when I looked over here, I realized I still had some space here, and it was just enough to fit the same washi there. So I added that there. That way it's on both sides, even though I didn't use the coordinating strip here because there wasn't enough room. Okay, and that's the front side. And then this is the one I decided to use the same one here since it's a full sheet. Again, I could have used, one of these other ones, but I really like this one. So I was okay with using that one a few times throughout. So this is what it looks like from the front. Okay, so I think all in all, considering I messed up those 2 pages. This page, again, these 2 pages were supposed to go in the back, which is why I didn't have room over here. And why I have extra room here, because these ones are larger and these ones are smaller. Now this one, I do have to some kind of way add an extra box here. Now I was only going to use these 3 boxes and just have this be decorative, but I think I'm going to have to turn that one into a day I can journal in, and then maybe turn this entire space here into an extra box. So I think I might do that again, just because that's really my only option. And I have the most space over here. And again, thankfully I don't write small, so I can continue whatever I need to write about for this day over here. So I think I might do that. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I might get one of my Pigma microns in black, and maybe one of my mild liners. Let's see, which color is not here? Yellow, purple, green, blue, pink. So maybe I'll get the pale pink one and kind of create my own sticky note over here. And let's see. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna get my Happy Planner teacher book. It has some push pins and other cute little office items, and I can make it look like this is a sticky note over here. All right, so I pulled this adorable teacher sticker book. It's called Abstract Silkscreen Teacher by Happy Planner, and it's in the big size. And even though I use a classic planner, sometimes I order the big size because I like larger stickers. But it has these adorable accessories in here, like stationary accessories like this. So I thought I could use one of these push pins. And I have a couple of these here too. So I pulled that. And then I also had the idea of, instead of drawing in the sticky note, what if I use an actual sticky note? So I thought it might be kind of cool if I come up all the way. Since it's sticky, I have enough to kind of hold it here, you know what I mean? And then trim it. So I'm thinking of doing that, trimming it all the way down, and then I can write directly on top of this. And that way it takes up that space. I think that might be kind of cool. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me get, let's see, my ruler and my craft knife, and let me put my mat underneath so I don't get too carried away. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like if I do it like this, I can write on top of this. So I think what I'm going to do is run this through my Xyron machine. I can get it to take it. There we go. Okay, so now I have adhesive on the back of this, so I don't have to worry about adding glue. And I'm going to line this up again with the top edge. Like that. Move this over slightly. There we go. my bone folder and just smooth this down. Okay, that works. I'm trying to line this up. Actually, you know, it's going to be easier just getting a new one. And I can just save this for scrap paper to write on. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I'm using the line where the sticker strip is to kind of be my guide. And because of the temporary adhesive here, it allows me to hold it down long enough to be able to cut it without it moving. And again, I'm just going to try to feed this through here. Sometimes it's kind of hard when something already has some kind of adhesive to get this to grab. Come on. There we go. And we're basically just creating a box, since I know I need an extra day. Just lining these edges up as best I can. Then smoothing it down with my bone folder. Okay. All right, let's do one more. And I'm using the side that has a temporary adhesive on it just to make it life easier for myself. Then lining it up as best I can. All right, once again, run this through my Xyron. There we go. All right, now we can add this and then trim off the excess. And this Xyron adhesive is very strong, so this is not going anywhere. All right, so that's what it's looking like. Now let's add maybe a push pin. So let's see. Got this pink one. Maybe add that one. Maybe like this. And I think I'm gonna white out part of this line here. That way it looks like it's being stuck to the sticky note. Maybe one right there. Yeah, just whiting out part of the line. And actually, these are the same, so maybe I should swap these if I can. Put this one up here. away some of the white out. So you can reposition it. Okay, and then put the pink one in the middle. Just scraping off some of the excess white out since I moved it. And then, since this is the same color as that one, I'll have this one over here. And it kind of goes with the theme too. You know what I mean? It's like it's holding up part of this note. Okay, now I'm wondering if I should do the same thing over here, even though I'm probably not going to write on this side, just so that it matches. Yeah, I like that better. Now at least that side matches this side. Now I'm wondering if I should add some push pins to this side too. I used all plain ones on this side. I don't think I have any more plain ones left. Oh, I have these ones. I think these are a little smaller, but I think this could work. So let's see. Where's my tweezers at? So instead of orange and pink, let's maybe use blue and green on this other side. So maybe 2 green and 1 blue. I like these ones because they actually have like the indentation of where it's being stuck, which is really cool. I love that. And again, just so it mirrors this side, even though, I mean, I could write in here, but I'm mainly going to use this one to write in. Okay, so that works. So again, that was the Abstract Silkscreen Teacher sticker book from Happy Planner. So that worked out. In fact, I might leave this out in case I want to use something else from it. All right, so let's take a look at how everything came out so far. All right, so this is what the waterfall tabs are looking like. And then the final page with the push pins. And again, I'm going to be writing here and then here. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and round all the corners of these. And then we can figure out what we want to use for dating everything. So again, I'm using the 1/4 inch side. So I'm going to do all the ones at the top and then all the ones at the bottom. All right, so all the corners are rounded, top and bottom. Just going through and making sure everything looks good. Make sure I don't have any edges I need to clean up. All right, so everything looks good. All right, so now let's go ahead and see what we want to do for dating. So I'm going to get my Agenda 52 sticker book. And let's see. Okay, so it starts here. And I think I want to use black. And maybe the black script in the front, actually. Like these. I think that'll go well with it. And let's figure out what kind of numbers we want to use. I think I might use black numbers as well. Or I could use colorful numbers since I have so much color. Let's see what the options are. So we've got these just traditional circle black numbers with white. Let's see, I don't think I want to use the squares because they're a little large. And I want to maximize the writing space I have. So let's see. Those are alone. Yeah, I think the squares might be a little too big, so I've got these colorful ones. That might be kind of cute. So I might use these ones or either the ones with gold, the ones with white numbers, or maybe just the plain black circle. Let's see. Yeah. Well, since I'm using the black text, maybe I'll just use the black circle. Just keep it simple. That way the color can kind of shine through. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and date everything, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. But I'm going to use this black script, and hopefully, actually, you know what? I should probably count this, make sure I have enough. Let's see. I need 4 weeks. Ooh, I don't know if I have enough. Okay, let me see what day September starts on so I can see if I have enough to make it through. Otherwise, I might have to do something else. So September 1st starts on a Monday. So let me do that and see if I have enough for 30 days. Okay, guys, I only have enough for 20 days, not 30. So I can't use this. So I've got to come up with something else. I mean, I have this gold script. I might use that. This actually is my favorite. You get 2 sheets of this. So I've used this one the most, I think. And I have this gold one here. Then I also have these different ones. This is probably my least favorite one. I could use these. Let's see, do I have enough of these though? Let's see. Okay, I've got 3 of the pink, 1 purple, and 1 blue. So I've got 5 weeks left with a few strays. So I might use these and just rotate it. Yeah, okay, so I think I'll use this one, and then I think if I do that, I'm going to maybe use the colorful ones to kind of match it. So maybe this colorful set here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and date everything. Again, using these 2 sheets for September, and then I think I'm going to use the non-gold fold colorful set here to go with these colors. All right, so I'll do that, and then I'll come back and show you what everything looks like. All right, so I rounded all the corners and dated everything. So this is what it looks like dated. And it worked out pretty much perfectly. And I think the different colors looks really well with it. So I just rotate it between, I did pink, the blue, pink again, purple, and then pink. And I had the perfect amount. So that worked out very well. And whenever I could, I tried to add it above. If I didn't have room like here, I would put it like the day here and the number above, or the day above and the number in the middle. So I tried to maximize whatever space I have. And for example, like the 29th, this box and this one will be all for the 29th. And then all of this is for the 30th. And if for some reason I need some extra space, I could always continue it over there. But again, I think for the most part, considering I accidentally put the pages in the wrong area, I think it came out pretty well, all things considered. So again, that's what it's looking like. All right, so now let's go ahead and add some items to our Dutch doors. Let's see. These are kind of the pages I'm working with here. So I definitely want to get at least one of the pens and pencils in, and then some of the other items, like the watch and coffee. Let's see. Trying to space it out so I can see everything that I have. Okay, so I have the highlighters, pens, and then the other accessories over here. Okay. Let's see. Well, maybe I should put like a pen or pencil on this last one because it'll be, skinny enough to fit there. You know what I mean? So I think that might work. So I'm trying to decide if I want the black pen or the pink one. I think I might do the black pen. That looks really cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this one on the last tab and have it kind of angled out like this. Maybe I'll bring it down slightly. Trying to keep the bulk of it and still see some of the washi. And then line up this side. Again, as best I can. Okay, so that's there. That looks really cool, and it stays just within that border because, again, I don't want to go past this page because that's the end of the journal. Okay, so for this one, let's see, maybe the scissors. Because those are kind of small enough to fit. And actually, I might put them straight up and down like that, so I can see it. Then put the other ones. Do my best not to rip this, because I did use that watercolor on it. There we go. Again, just kind of line up these edges. That fit perfectly. Right there. That's great. Okay, so we got the pen and the scissors, and I like that I can see both of those. Okay. Let's see. I want to get the watch in here somewhere too, so maybe I'll put the watch, maybe the watch and the coffee on this one. So like this. And I'm going to turn it upside down so it'll match. Because otherwise, if I do it this way, I've got to cut off the stem. So I think I will do it upside down. And just trim off just a little bit that doesn't line up. Okay, that works. And let's do the coffee. Maybe right here. I'm gonna put it in between the girls so it only covers up one of the girls. And that's gonna go, oh, that's gonna go into the box though. And I've already got that there, so maybe I shouldn't do that. Let's see. Or maybe I should do it. We should do it on this one. Yeah, I need to find something skinny so it doesn't go over this too much. Well, these aren't usable, so it doesn't matter if I cover these. So I think I will cover this most of the way. Maybe like that. And then put this other one on the other side. And these are different, but they're the same shape, so it should, for the most part, work out. I might have to trim, again, a little bit. Again, I still have most of that box to write around, so I think that's okay. Just trim a little part of the handle that goes over. Okay, just that little bit there. Okay, so I have the scissors and the coffee and the pen right here, and then the watch on this one. Let's see. Might only put the watch there because I don't want to cover this up because that box is already skinny. So that might be the only thing I put there. And then on this one, let's see. Okay, this one I have this, so I could put something here. So maybe I'll put the candle on this one. And bring it over. Trim off some of this offset here, just to make it easier to layer. And maybe put it right about like that. I did at an angle so that hopefully it doesn't go too far into this box. And it doesn't. Okay, so that worked out. Again, just kind of clean up this one edge. All right, so I didn't use the handbag, or the planner. Actually, I think I probably can fit one of the planners down here. Let's see. I'm gonna do it mostly on the page, or if I did it like this. Well, let's see. I'm gonna do this one. Again, I'm putting it mostly on the page so I can see if it goes like this. I might have to cut that pin off. Oh, I think I forgot to mirror this. So I have to do it like this. To get it to fit. Okay, let me move Tuesday over. Oops. See if I can lift up this date without ripping it. Tore part of it, but there we go. Bone folder and kind of smooth it down. And let's see. Dark green. Just lightly dabbing it with my alcohol marker because I don't want it to bleed through, but just to kind of smudge out that tear. Okay. All right, so we have those two there, which I like. Gives it more interest. Maybe I can fit something small over here. Or I might just put a pencil there. Or you know what? Maybe I'll put the pencil like this, going this way. Going across the page. My craft scraper. Push it in and then over. That way I get to use the pencil. Since I have that space there, why not? Okay, so we got the pencil there. Let's see, is there anything else on the bottom? I might can put this other pencil somewhere else. Actually, I might put it in the middle here. See what that looks like. Just get my bone folder and just kind of smush it down. Okay, so we have both the pencils I was able to use, which I like. Okay. I have this other set of pens. Let's see if we can put the globe some more because I really want to use that too. Might cover this up. You know what? I can put stuff here because, again, these boxes aren't usable. So cut off the bottom offset and then bring it all the way down. And I have to come into this box slightly because I don't really want it to be visible. Yeah, right there. Okay. And then the laptop. Again, this is, I made this for the Dutch door, but I wonder if I can fit it here. As long as I get the angle right, I think I might be able to do it. As long as I only cover up this area here, you know what I mean? So if I do right about there, let's see if that fits. Then I can just move Friday down and just put it in this box. Okay. All right, that works. That way I can maximize the items I was able to use. Okay. So I just have the smartphones that I made, the handbags, and the other set of pens. But I knew I was only going to use one set of pens. I just wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. The only thing I didn't use that I wanted to do was the highlighter. So maybe I can fit one of those somewhere. I could put one highlighter here. Let's see. Maybe do it like this. Okay. And maybe this one over here. Or like this. And let's see if we have room for any more highlighters. That pen is there though. To cover up one of these flowers. Just maybe cut off the top part or anglet just so it, I don't want to take up too much of the box, but it's something like that. Does it go over? And it doesn't go over. Okay. Could do that. And I think I might white out the area underneath. Oh, it's ripping. Well, if I can. At least white out where this flower is. Okay, so I have these highlighters left, but I don't think I need to use anything else. I mean, the only other thing I have is the typewriter, handbag, and the phone. Let's see if I can put that somewhere. Yeah, I might put the typewriter down here just to give this some interest at the bottom here and break up some of these Post-it notes. So put that there. And don't think I can fit anything else. I'm just double checking. Again, I have these handbag and phone, but the original was going to be part of a Dutch door, but again, I don't think I can fit anything else. Okay, so I think that might be it. So let me clean up and then we'll see where we are. All right, everyone. So this is what everything is looking like. Let's do a final flip through. I'm really pleased with how everything came out. Again, we had to make some adjustments based on some errors of things that I accidentally did and didn't mean to do. But you know, these things happen. So I think it's good to not just show you the things that I do well, but also when I make mistakes, because if you make a mistake, it kind of, hopefully it helps you to figure out how to self-correct like I do. Okay, so this is what my September Boss Girl spread is looking like, and I am in love. All right, so this is the cover page. And again, I decided to go with a 2-page cover page just because I wanted to be able to look like a full memo book. So that's what it's looking like. And then we flip through into the next one. And now we start getting into some of the Dutch doors. And I love the different office accessories, the pens, the pencils, the highlighters, the push pins. I think this came out really well. And I'll flip in reverse. This is so cute. And I'm really loving it. Again, a little bit different than I originally envisioned, but I think we were still able to pull everything together. And again, I'm completely in love. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay inspired, and thank you for watching.